Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. Today we're in Gilmore Valley, just down the road from St. Mary's University at Dory's Place, which has been designed as a crafting retreat. We're going to go inside and talk with Dory's daughter, who opened the retreat center, to find out what it's all about. And we'll visit the crafters currently using the retreat to hone up on our crafting skills. Dory's Place offers a new concept in lodging for the Heartland area. Not only does it have a workshop in the backyard, but the house has been turned into a 4-bedroom lodging facility for the crafters to spend the night and share their meals.
Welcome to Dory's Place, Joyce.
Well, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Sherry. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
This is Sherry Eddie Krueger, who actually is Dory's daughter, and she's the one who opened this interesting craft retreat. But tell us, Sherry, what is a craft retreat?
Well, it's a specific place where people can get away, like girlfriend getaways, where they have all their craft with them and they can sit down and create, whether it's quilting or scrapbooking or beading, necklaces, that kind of thing. It could be knitting. It could be just a host of different crafts. And there's a workshop for that purpose in the back of Dory's Place.
Well, Sherry, you did a very interesting thing. You took your mother's house and you turned it into actually sort of a hotel or a cottage to rent. Tell us about that.
Kind of a bed and coffee, we like to refer to it as. Yeah, this is the home I grew up in. And our whole family obviously lived here all that time. And when my father built a new home and he was ready to sell this one, I thought, well, who better to own it than I, because I live out in Gilmore Valley too, and I go by it every day. It's fully furnished. The kitchen has everything that they might need, from crock pots to pans, pots, dishes, wine glasses, whatever they might need. Yeah.
Well, I think it's wonderful. We came on a day where the crafters are actually back there working.
Yes.
But in the meantime, can we take a quick stroll through the house itself? I know you totally redid it, and it's sort of an eclectic look. You have some new, you have some old.
Right.
Can you just give us a quick tour before we go to visit the crafters?
I'd love to do that, Joyce. Now, this room is kind of a gathering room next to the kitchen, of course, so people can relax, they can watch TV, they can turn on the fireplace, and they can all visit while dinner is being prepared. This is the dining room, where it's hard to believe, but there were sometimes 20 to 25 people sitting in here when I was growing up. An extended family was here. This table was actually in my grandmother's brooder house. These rugs were purchased from an estate sale over by Trempealeau.
It's great the way you can use these old pieces.
They just keep being used. I mean, they're just like recycled, so to speak.
Charming in this house.
Yeah, well, thank you. This is the living room. It has a sleeper sofa, and we actually had a grandmother come with a group that didn't want to traverse the stairs for a bed, so she was very happy to crash on this couch with a pulled out. Everything was there for her. So
perfect. I love the old china hutch too.
Yeah, the secretary. Reminiscent of the age-old era.
You did a really nice job blending the old with the new.
Thank you.
Very nice touch.
Thanks.
Well, should we go upstairs?
Yeah, let's do that. Joyce, this is the master bedroom, and it will sleep 4. It has a set of trundle beds and a queen-size bed and double sinks and full bath in there.
Very cozy room. Very nice.
Well, and the other thing is that this home is great for extended family. Sleeps 15 in beds.
Uh-huh.
So with all the universities in Winona, when graduation time comes around and the extended family comes, it would be nice for them all to stay together, cook their own meals, barbecue in the backyard, and enjoy each other's company versus all sorts of hotel rooms. So,
Sherry, this is a charming little bedroom. It's sort of a typical kind of a farmhouse bedroom. It's really sweet.
Well, that's right. I found this vintage chenille bedspread, and I just love it. It just seemed to go with the flow of the home, and it's a queen, so it will sleep 2, obviously, and the bathroom is right outside the door.
Simplistic and clean. I like that.
Thank you. And Joyce, this is the crafting workshop where there's a lot of people here doing their individual crafts today.
Wow, this is just beautiful.
Yes.
Really a busy, busy place, a bustling place.
Well, it's a good place to get things done. It's got a lot of natural light, and it's actually 24 by 36.
How many crafters can comfortably fit in here?
Well, at least a dozen, but I have chairs for 20. So it depends upon what they're crafting. For instance, a knitter may not need as much space as a crafting scrapbooker or a quilter. And I provide big quilting layout boards so people can lay out on felt their patterns of their quilt. I provide a Cricut expression, which is for the scrapbookers.
Why don't you show us some of the other stuff that you provide? All right. Let's just take us on a quick little tour before we talk to the ladies.
All right.
I see you have a computer.
This is right for journaling. The scrapbookers like to go online and record their experiences, their memories, and then they can print them. They can go and find ideas off the internet, and it is, Wi-Fi access, and it works out great.
Oh, nice.
And then in here is the kitchenette, and this has a microwave and a refrigerator and freezer, and of course the essential coffee pot, and everything that probably they would need. And people have plugged in their hot dips and enjoyed the afternoon and brought their wine and cooled it in the and then there's a half bath, and so it really has most anything you would need.
Well, this is a wonderful idea, having all these ladies come in for us today. I think I'd like to go around and chat with each one of them and see what they're doing.
Please do.
All right. This is Sandy Erdman, who is making these beautiful aprons. Here's one that she has on. Tell me about this.
This is the Watkins apron, and it's very appropriate for the fact that we have Watkins products here, which is the nutmeg, which happens to be the Watkins product.
Very nice.
What I do is I take and I will go and step by step, and I press everything as I go. So I will spray starch this, and then I go and I fold it down, and I got my helper here, I got my mom. So normally I don't have mom all the time with me, but I go and I press this down, and I go along and go all the way around, do this again, press that down until I go all the way around the apron like I have done here.
Okay.
Where I've gone all the way around. Then I go and I sew it. So then I sew that, and like I said with the pocket, I will take and I will sew around this, turn it around, attach the pocket, and then the ties will be put on, such as like this. We'll put the ties on, and the apron is good to go.
It looks like you're making something else here too.
We do, right? And I like to have things that kind of match together with other things, such as the bags, the different fabrics that we can make the aprons. Again, I hand do the quilts here. There's a one over there, a hand quilt. And then I always like to have pot holders, aprons. This is a half apron that do the apron to go with that. Again, here is another idea. This again is with the apple apron, going like that sort of thing with the apples. Pot holders. And then something just a little new is the little half apron pin that I've come up with, the little half apron pin. Something a little different for fabrics, just fun fabric. So.
And what's it like working here at Dory's place?
Oh, this is fun. It is really fun. All of us gals getting together and each one doing their own little project going on, but still communicating, and we can still, basically when you have the quilters and you have the apron, it all's from the same cloth, and we're all working together.
This is Kathy Seifert, who is busy over here making a beautiful quilt, I think. Is that what you're doing?
I am. That's a Mariner's Compass quilt. I don't really know a lot about the history of it, but this is the first time I've ever made one. It was a class that I took from a wonderful quilt designer from Duluth, Minnesota. I'm using a method that is called foundation or paper piecing. Basically, for this particular quilt, there are two different style blocks, an A and a B block. And I'm working on the A blocks right now that have the pink in them. What we do is use this foundation and the lines that are drawn on there to guide us to make perfect seams, to make every single point show. Sometimes when we quilt, if you don't do things just exactly right, you cut off the end. And this way, when you use the paper and you sew right on, you can see I have in my machine, I sew right on the paper, and you get the pieces exactly where they need to be. The paper holds everything in place, especially fabric when it's cut on the bias. Like these triangles are, it gets really stretchy. If you notice when it's cut on the straight of grain, it holds its weight. But if you pull sideways, it gets really stretchy. And so this paper foundation keeps it to hold its shape. And then at the end, everything lays flat. I'll be adding on 4 more corners like this, so it'll be twice that size.
Kathy, are crafting retreats common?
Yes, they seem to be. We, in our Quilters Guild here in Winona, we have one every year in the spring. We usually have been going up to Frontenac and go for the weekend and have a wonderful time. We eat too much and talk and laugh and get as much sewing time in as we can. And it's a good bonding place.
Sure, so Dory's place probably is perfect for that.
It is a perfect place to come with your friends and be able to just laugh and talk and have your friend time, your girl time. Nobody else you don't have to worry about anything else except for what you want to do.
This is Mary Nelson, who's another crafter.
Yes.
Well, tell us about your craft today.
Well, I actually have a long arm quilting business, so what you saw Kathy doing, she could bring it to me and I would finish it for her. But today I just wanted to work on some of my own projects, since this is an opportunity to do some of my own sewing. And I did a couple of these are napkins for the holidays, and I had a request for those, so she chose wintry fabrics, so I have that. I've moved on from that and I'm working on neckties. And I have
Quite nice.
in the process neckties.
You make your husband's neckties,
Yes,
do you?
he does. He wears only my neckties,
This is really cute.
and they're wild.
Big, so
Well, actually, he's tall, but actually once this gets sewed, it would be a third of that size. So it would end up looking like a normal necktie. You seam it in the back.
well, that's darling.
So it will be. For me, it's great because he likes to go into a quilt store then. So he'll look for fabric for ties while I'm looking for fabrics for my own projects. So.
Tell me how you use crafter retreats.
Well, especially since I have my own business, it's a little hard to justify working on my own projects when I have paying projects sitting in there. So it's a good opportunity for me to just get away, and then I have my own sewing to do. And you need to do that. You need to kind of get your own, satisfy your own artistic expression. And it's fun to do. Yeah.
Enjoy the socialization.
You never know what you're going to see. Somebody's always got something new and a new idea on what to do, and so it's a good time.
You learn a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And I've gone on retreats where we've done projects, so everybody has a little project that they're working on the same project too.
This is Sue Wolf, who's making some gorgeous jewelry here. Oh, this is so pretty.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. The best things about making jewelry.
The best thing is I have my own studio downstairs in my basement, so I just go down there whenever I need a little time to myself, and I just kind of incorporate my own little things that I see in the magazines or anything like that, and I just kind of whip them up, and it gets me, out of the housework and all that stuff, just to do something different.
Did you make this lovely piece around your neck?
I actually weaved this. It's a wire weave with glass and Swarovski beads in there.
Can you show us a little bit the process that you do to put together a necklace?
Yes. I'll just string one thing at a time, just one bead. These are glass beads. This is a Swarovski bead. This is silver. I do have a favorite color. It's pink. I'm sure you can tell.
Do you try to be symmetrical or no?
No, I'm not. I just like kind of a different kind of a look. I'm not real. Nothing really matches. And some of it's old and some of it's new. Some of it's from vintage stores. When I travel, I like to find different things. This is actually from Sonoma. And it's a cross. I love crosses. Real different. This is actually something like a sand. It's from the sand. It's like an earth kind of clay thing. So it was hand stamped by somebody. So
Sweet little seahorse on there.
yeah, I'm looking for the right bead. I just don't know what I want to do yet. So just kind of.
Well, tell me how you feel about a crafter's retreat.
I think this would be fun. I'm like, oh my gosh, it would
Is
be.
this your first one that you've attended?
Yep, I've never been here before. I think it'd be just wonderful to come here. Because the phone's not ringing, the doorbell's not ringing, the dog's not barking. It would just be, it would be really nice.
Yeah, and you can socialize at the same time.
Yes, it's just been a blast all day today. We've had so much fun.
This is Gabby Peterson, who's making these gorgeous purses.
Thank
They
you.
really are pretty, but you have really an interesting process to get to this point of this purse, and it looks like you've got one started here on your lap, so tell us all
Working on
about it.
one. It's very straight traditional knitting to make the basic bag. Just going round and round, but you have to make it out of natural fiber, and you have to make it big because then you put it in the washing machine and shrink it like you might accidentally do with a sweater. Only this is intentional, and sometimes I wash things 8 or 10 times to get them the size I want them. What I love about this technique, you could make felted bags out of felted wool of any kind, but I love that every purse is really made out of one continuous strand. There's no break in it, so they're very strong, very durable. They're water repellent, they last forever, and I have a good time making them.
And they're gorgeous too.
Oh, thanks.
Very pretty. And you actually even start with the wool. You actually make this into your own balls of wool, right?
I do. Most wool that's of decent quality is doesn't come in a skein like you might see at the discount store. It comes like this because they dye it like this. And I can't get this one apart. So they dye it in vats like this, and then if you remember when you were a grandchild, perhaps, of someone, or of seeing a movie, someone holding the yarn like this and winding off of it, I don't always have someone to hold my yarn, plus I want a consistent tension, so I use this to be the holder, to be the hands, and I wind onto here, and then I have a ball I can use directly.
Oh, nice. So you really start from scratch, and boy, your bags are really pretty, Gabby. This is a really interesting purse. So what do you do with all these bags?
I sell them locally and give them as gifts and carry things in them. And
They're really, really cute. What a clever idea.
Thank you.
And is this your first crafting retreat, or have you been to others?
I've crafted with friends in someone's cabin out of town, but this is my first official crafting retreat.
And how do you like it?
I love it. I think it would be a great way to teach a group of people a new skill, and I often do teach knitting. And it would be a fun atmosphere in which to teach, and it's also just fun to come as a knitter and feel the energy of other people working next to you.
This is Marilyn Cronin, who actually really enjoys scrapbooking, I understand, and you do it just as a hobby.
I do it just as a hobby, that is correct.
All right.
My son is 14 and I started when he was born, so I've been doing it for about 14 years now.
Well, now give us some of the tips that you can share that you've learned through those years that are fun and interesting about
Okay, I
it.
don't think that this is the funnest tip, but this is the most important thing about scrapbooking is journaling. Because really the pictures are very nice and they're beautiful and your children are so cute and their friends are so wonderful, but after a bit of time goes by, you forget who those kids are, or you forget the stories behind those pictures. So scrapbooking isn't just about getting your pictures on a page and making them look all beautiful and those sorts of things. I think the most important part about scrapbooking is journaling. Getting those stories on the page, telling your kids how much you love them, how much they're appreciated, what they did when they were younger, what they liked, what they disliked, who their friends were, the activities that they participated in. So I spent a lot of time journaling, as you can tell from this page. This was our trip to Florida, and kind of incorporated some of the things that we did and some of the souvenirs we had. And my books are really, truly scrapbook pages, because I really try to incorporate the things in my children's lives. Like, for instance, this kid right here, Cal Thompson, is a friend of my son's, and they're on the same baseball team. And it just so happens that their family did an advertising campaign for Winona Health. So this will be fun for my son to see 10 or 15 years from now.
Let's take a look
Right.
at your book and maybe point out a few things in it that you are especially proud
Well, I'll
of.
tell you, this book right here. I do a book for my children each year, and this book kind of got away from me because this is all my daughter's 4th grade year in school at Madison.
Oh my.
They're usually not this big. She must have had a very good year in the 4th grade. I don't know. Try to incorporate some of the letters she's gotten from her teachers, her artwork. I take pictures of school projects or stories that she's written about her pet Molly. I think that is things that they're going to enjoy in the future.
In the future, yes.
I don't really know if they are enjoying them so much today because they don't appreciate the stories I had to tell about them yet.
Well, you are truly making a joyful product for your children.
It's a relaxing thing for me. It's a stress reliever, and I don't know. I truly love it. I really, really do. So
I can see that. Yeah.
and we get to when I'm doing it, I get to spend time with my friends because my friends like to scrapbook as well. So
Sure.
it's just love all around.
Yeah. So the craft retreat is perfect for you,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is.
This is Tammy Eastep, who's also a scrapbooker, and looks like you're really getting busy here with friends.
Yeah.
Well, tell me exactly what you like the most about scrapbooking.
Well, for me, it's stress relief. It's almost a passion of mine to take pictures of things that we've done with friends and family and put them down in books and then write the story about what happened then, because you don't always remember who these people are in 10, 15 years.
Gosh.
And these people might not be around in 10 or 15 years, so to have stories about Grandpa Jack and, the water trampoline and stuff like that, I think it's priceless, and I think someday my kids will really, really treasure these books.
Absolutely. It's like writing your whole family history and showing it off in these interesting ways, and so creative. Wow, these things are really, really creative.
Thank you.
So tell me some of the techniques that you could share with the audience that they might not know.
Well, the hardest part is trying to organize your pictures, and then you have to find the type of product that you like the best. I get Creative Memories products. You order the album, and you order the pages separately, and you decorate the pages however you want, and then you put the page protectors on, which are very important. They'll protect from spills and water damage and stuff like that, and then you just put them in the album, and you can make them, you can just keep refilling them until they get so full you can't fit any more pictures, and then you have to start a new book, of course. The hardest part is coming up with what you're going to do for the layout. And a thing that a dear friend of mine taught me, like if I have, let's say, all these are from the 4th of July, I'll just do the same design on all the pages, so you don't have to have a new design on every page. And it's a lot easier, so you just get all those things cut, and then you slap them in there, and you can put your pictures in there instead of reinventing the wheel every time you want to do a new page.
Sure, clever. So you're talking about this pretty little design
so
down
I just
here.
did those on all the 4th of July pictures.
Oh, sure.
You might change them a little bit, but it's...
Yeah, very clever. Okay, so have you been to many other crafting retreats?
I have. I've been to a few different ones in the past. A lot of times I'll go to my friend's house because I just keep a lot of my scrapbook and stuff at her house. But it's nice because, I'll get there noon on Friday, and she'll have to kick me out Sunday afternoon. We'll just scrapbook the whole weekend and take breaks, and it's fun. It's fun to visit with friends, catch up, see what everybody's doing. And you're accomplishing something because it's not just my kids love when I've been away scrapbooking for the week, and they say, Mom, what pictures did you do? And they love showing their friends their scrapbooks and stuff like that. So, and that gives me a really good feeling of pride, too.
Sure. Well, and they are beautiful.
Thank you.
This is Summer Kada, who actually has a business, and it's in regards to the scrappers.
Yeah.
So explain what your little business is.
And people were looking for a unique album that they could put all their pages in. Since so many crafters spend a lot of time making the perfect album, they wanted the perfect cover. So what we will do is we will take various photographs, for scrapbook albums or photo albums, either one, and we will actually laser engrave them into the leather album, and then it will stay there forever. It will never wear off, and we can do several pictures on an album for an anniversary or for a graduation present, and then we can put any quote on there that they'd like, or we can add a person's name or date.
Very nice. Very
Thank you.
nice. This is Stephanie Reed, who's also a scrapbooker, I think, right?
Yes.
But you're
correct.
making a calendar, it looks
Yep.
like.
Every fall, I make about 5 calendars for grandparents and myself and other family members. as a way to preserve memories for them. They have albums that they keep at home, and each year when I give them their new calendars, at the end of the year they will take each page off and slide it in. So it's almost like I'm making them a yearly album along with when I scrapbook at home for my family.
That is really a clever idea, Stephanie.
The calendar itself comes together as just the plain white calendar bound, and then I like the blank canvas, so I add in my papers and my pictures. Haven't gotten too far on this one yet.
You're just starting, and you do 5 of these.
I do 5 of them.
Oh, that's a busy project.
It is, but it's enjoyable. I get to recap the entire year that we've had as a family, and
Sure.
and it's a gift that everybody looks forward to each year. I know they'll always be happy. So this was a fun day. We were able to get together with several of our friends and go sledding down a hill, and you can see this little picture. There was a large accident that occurred at the end of this. I followed them with my camera and snapped this picture, and as I went down to get them at the base of the hill, they disappeared because they had hit the one jump on the hill and were 4 feet in the air. So, it's fun, and so as I get time, I'll go back in and journal on my
Wow.
spots.
What a great way to record family adventures.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me here today at Dory's Place. Please join me again next week. Till then, enjoy the spirit of the Heartland.